Well, you are looking live now at images from our southern border, high over the Rio Grande River in Eagle Pass, where in the 7 days I was there were more than 11,000 encounters with migrants. Today, there have been upwards of 1,700, and it comes as they're trying to struggle with a record number of illegal crossings. Now this, as Texas Governor Greg Abbott reacts to the Supreme Court giving President Biden the green light to end the Trump-era Remain in Mexico policy. Abbott writing, the Supreme Court's decision upholding DHS's termination of the Remain in Mexico policy will only embolden the Biden administration's open border policies. We were able to speak earlier this week with the governor down along the riverbank. Here is some of our exclusive interview. Let's talk about just how bad the situation is right now in your state.
So literally it's never been worse, and it's never been worse because the numbers are higher than they've ever been. The problems and challenges are mounting on the other side of the border, but worst of all, we are not seeing the president lift a finger to do anything about it. And it's like we're some abandoned outpost out here. And the president has abandoned one of the states, actually many of the states, all the border states of the United States of America is reprehensible.
And we saw the tragedy this week in San Antonio. What was your reaction when you first learned about that, and what needs to be done now?
Well, the first reaction is shock. I mean, you can't be anything but shocked and stunned whenever you hear or see anything like that. And it is a horrific tragedy. But it also is a byproduct of Biden's border policies. When you don't have a president who's actually enforcing the immigration laws, it attracts the cartels and smugglers to do exactly what they did that led to this disaster. And that's why we're calling upon the president to finally step up and do your job and secure the border and enforce the immigration laws.
And you are announcing some additional steps that you will take, Texas will take, to try and prevent tragedies like the one we saw.
So first, to explain the context of it, and that is one reason why the tragedy occurred is because there was insufficient Border Patrol officers to be able to inspect every vehicle that was coming up that highway. This vehicle that had the people in it who passed away was not inspected. And so what Texas is doing is we're deploying additional Texas Department of Public Safety officers to check some of these commercial vehicles to do our part to try to prevent tragedies like what happened in San Antonio.
You talk about Republicans. How important do you think this is as an issue as we head into the midterms?
It's a game changer. It was one of the things that led to the victory for Mayra Flores, not too far from where we are right now. This territory on the border used to always be dominated by Democrats. And now we have the first Mexican-born Hispanic woman elected as a Republican to the United States Congress in the Rio Grande Valley. And it shows the paramount importance of border security issues that she campaigned on.
That, of course, a border community, but for voters well north of the border in northeast states and beyond, should they care?
They do care, and I'll tell you one reason why. I mean, first of all, they don't like seeing their border overrun. They don't like seeing the lawlessness, but also many of these people who are coming across the border are flown into their states. But then on top of that, and perhaps worse, the fentanyl is making it its way to their states also. Communities in northern U.S., in eastern U.S., and western U.S. are all infiltrated with this very deadly fentanyl. The border crisis is having an effect on every state in the United States.
Do you think, with the way these numbers have been surging, I remember just last year we would have a group of 100 that they classify in the Border Patrol as a large group. Since I've been here for 5 days, we've had a group of 300 or 400 every single day. Can we sustain this?
With the inadequate personnel that are being provided on the federal side, it'll be more difficult. But that's exactly why I was here today, to announce more strategies of what Texas is doing about laying down more razor wire, building more barriers, adding more troops and personnel to these regions where you see a high influx of people coming across the border. Texas adds people to help solve this problem, whereas the United States does not.
We know as we sit here along the banks of the Rio Grande, the cartel's watching. Is this crisis benefiting them in ways that we have never seen?
They make money off of everybody who comes across the border. They made money off of the people who lost their lives in that truck. And one of our goals is to use strategies that will cause the cartels to lose money in Texas.
Governor, finally, and this is a open-ended question, but How does this end?
It ends with the federal government finally doing its job. It probably is going to end with a new president, but it can end far quicker than that, because I think the Republicans can gain control of Congress in just a few months, and they can begin the hearings that may lead to the impeachment of Secretary Mayorkas and finally hold the Biden administration accountable for their lawlessness on the United States border.
Governor Abbott, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Griff.